Welcome to Revolution Podcast. We'll be talking about excuses. How to turn your excuses to uses. Do you know that 99% of failures come from people who have the habit of making excuses? Do you ever catch yourself making excuses when things don't turn out as you had expected? Have you ever neglected taking responsibility for the events and circumstances of your life? Or have you ever tried to explain away why you didn't, couldn't, shouldn't, or simply wouldn't do something? These are all subtle signs that indicate you are living a life of excuses, which prevents you from living to your full potential. We are skilled at the art of making excuses. Excuses in our lives permit us to settle for less than God's best and justify our shortcomings. It has been said, excuses are tools of the incompetent, and those who specialize in them seldom go far. I love what Ben Franklin wrote. He said, "He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else." Gabriel Maria stated, "He who excuses himself accuses himself." Most failures come from a history of excuses and a lack of perseverance. We get so immersed in the past, we can't see hope staring at us through the dirty windows of our self-appointed limitations. We construct imaginary worlds and confine ourselves. We can get so stuck in the root of excuses, we even make excuses for our excuses. God is saying enough is enough. An excuse is nothing more than a self-imposed roadblock. Any person who always has an excuse is irresponsible because they will avoid responsibility and they become incompetent. Why? Because they need so many excuses. If you don't challenge yourself to reach new heights, you will never really know what you are capable of. New opportunities lie hidden around every corner. However, you will never find them if you riddle your mind with constantly finding reasons to make excuses. The truth is that if it is important to you, you will find a way. If not, you will always find an excuse. Making excuses is not new. People even made excuses in Jesus' day. One day, Jesus was walking along the road with a group of people. Jesus turned to 3 men and invited them to a great feast and said to them, "Follow me." But in Luke chapter 14, verse 18 to 20, the Bible said they all alike began to make excuses. These are their excuses. The first one said, "I have bought a piece of land and I need to go out and look at it. Please consider me excused." The second person said, "I have bought 5 yokes of oxen and I am going to try them out. Please consider me excused." And the third person said, "I have married a wife and for that reason I cannot come." All these 3 men made excuses. They refused to follow Jesus Christ because of the things they have. They made excuses. These people could have come to the feast. They just didn't want to, and that's the point of the parable. If they could have come to the feasting, maybe that would be an opportunity for the man that is in business. He will get contract. Maybe it's an opportunity for the man that is having 5 oxen. It will be an opportunity for him to expand his farm product to another level. Maybe it will be an opportunity for the man that just married. But all of them decline the invitation of Jesus Christ? Are you making excuses to get out of trouble, deny a problem, get out of responsibility, or keep from doing what you don't want to do? It's time to receive the victory God has in store for you so that you can stop making excuses and get results in your life. For as the scripture says, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. That's in Philippians chapter 4, verse 11. God will not accept our excuses. In the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verses 24 to 26, the Bible explained to us that one of the talented men who offered excuses, Jesus Christ rejected his excuses. He said, but his master answered and said to him, you wicked, lazy slave. You wicked, lazy slave. He did not accept his excuses. The master called him a wicked and lazy slave. When Jesus talked to his disciples about how the world had rejected him and will reject him because of their spiritual blindness and stubborn hearts, he said in John chapter 15, verse 22, if I had not come and spoken to them, they will not have sinned. But now they have no excuse for their sins. If we can discern the invisible and eternal power of the Godhead and his creative ability deposited in us through the finished work of Christ, we will know that there is no reason for us to make excuses. According to Romans chapter 1 verse 20, that for from the creation of the world, his invisible attributes, both his eternal power and deity, are discerned clearly, being understood in the things created, so that they are without excuses. Everything that God created is being revealed so that we will not have excuse in these last days. No more excuses. Now is the time to turn our excuses to uses. Turn your excuses to uses. In this 21st century, there is no room for excuses.